Hello, I'm joined today by my guest, Lisa Williamson from No Letting Go. Lisa is the head of compliance there at No Letting Go, and we're here today to try and answer some very commonly asked questions when it comes to claiming deposits back and disputes that may arise. And these things tend to sort of follow the same pattern every time. There is a commonality between a lot of these things because they do very often come up, and we always, as agents, we always don't know whether or not something is classed as wear and tear or whether something is actually torn beyond belief and needs to be repaired. And we're very surprised sometimes with some of the answers given during adjudication. So here to cast some light on that is Lisa. Lisa, welcome.
Thanks very much, David. Thank you very much for inviting me along today.
We've covered today probably 6 or 7 scenarios now that very often come up during tenancies, in fact, most tenancies. And there is a little bit of a repetitive nature to some of these queries. However, the key importance that I would take away from this as a lettings agent previously would be that you cannot afford to be without an inventory. And in most cases, if you're going to do a half job, if you're going to rush it, if that inventory is not going to be detailed enough, you might as well not do one at all, because you will be prejudicing the position of your client, the landlord, by not giving them a professional service. And to me, the best way to do that was always to outsource it to a professional, because I know what I'm good at. I'm good at flogging houses. I'm good at letting them, and we can take care of most of the rest. But detailed reports, it's an expertise, and I would argue one that you could ill afford to ignore in terms of your responsibilities as an agent.
Yeah, and I totally agree. And apart from anything else, it's a compliance report as well. We know, the compliance that's put on landlords each year just becomes greater and greater. We've got the introduction of carbon monoxide alarms coming in October that we've got to be in all rooms with gas appliances other than cookers, etc. So where you're going to document all of that information. So not only is it crucial for proving your claim for the matters that we've spoken about, but it shows that your CO alarms are in place, that your smoke alarms are in place and tested. Any furniture has got the relevant fire regulation labels present. They all need to be noted as well. So it's a dual tool. And also, heaven forbid, there is a fire or a flood at the property. It's a hugely important tool, important document given to an insurance company to show what the property was like, at the start. So there's so many different aspects of so many different benefits for a landlord to have a good quality inventory. And yeah, I totally agree. Best thing is to have that outsourced. You wouldn't go and survey your own house if you were buying a house. So yeah, why would you try and do your own inventory when you're letting a property?
And as a discipline, because of the nature of the detail that needs to go into it, unless you absolutely that is your key focus and your only job to do, it can become a very tedious job to do in-house. They're not fun. People roll their eyes when they're asked to go and do an inventory, and it's usually, oh, this is going to take me a couple of hours to do. And it does need detail. It needs somebody who has got patience, and therefore for me, it's always made sense to outsource that to somebody who will absolutely take care of it, and who does actually love doing it more than I do.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. And also, if you're using, I think it's it's very important to use an accredited inventory company, either with the AIIC, the Association of Independent Inventory Clerks, or ALA Property Mark Inventories. I don't say it's always the case. I've got friends that are inventory clerks that are not accredited, but have worked for many years and they've got the relevant insurance in place. But whoever you're appointing, ideally an accredited clerk, or if not, look to ask them for their insurance. You want to make sure that they've got professional indemnity insurance and public liability insurance, and that if the landlord then does subsequently fail on a claim at adjudication, and it's because there's not enough detail in either the inventory or the checkout report, and they can actually then go back and sue the inventory clerk because they didn't do their job properly, they've been negligent.